Okay, welcome to Spiral 12. Gotta find it first. Here we go. And all right, so GCF 4220. So Spiral 12 actually is very closely related to Spiral 11 in terms of the questions. I actually meant to give you guys this as a quiz or something, but that didn't happen, so it's okay. We get to practice more. Um, so let's start. Find the GCF 42 and 28 again. Um, Ladder method's fine, and it's just one of the many ways we can find the GCF. 2, 2 4 is 21, 2 28 is 14, 2 won't work. Let's try 3, no, 7. 7 actually works. 7 goes 21 3 times. 7 goes to 14 2 times. And we can't go anymore, so the GCF is a product of these two numbers, which is 2 times 7, which gives you 14. Okay, so I was told by someone that I speak too fast, so I'm going to slow down a little bit today. LCM of 36 and 48. And we're going to go, let's go as high as we can. 36, let's see, 6 works. Yeah, 6. 8? No, 6. 6 into 36 is 6. 6 and 48 is 8. We can go again. And that'd be a 2. 2 and 6 is 3. And 2 into 8 is 4. Can I go again? No. And the LCM is the product of all these numbers, and you can even make a little L here for LCM. So LCM is going to be the product of the two numbers on the side, 6 times 2, and then both of these numbers at the bottom, times 3 times 4. 6 times 2 is 12. Let's see, these 3 times 4 is 12, so it's a 12 times 12, so it gives you 144. So here's something that we haven't talked about much. If you start with 36 and 48, and you write that as a fraction, it gets 36 of 48. These two numbers ends up being the reduced form, okay, the simplified fraction of 36 over 48. Why did I write 34? I don't know. So 48. Okay, so something for you to also know that if you want to simplify, this is another way of simplifying. Okay, long way of simplifying. Okay, so 36 over 48 also simplifies to 3 over 4. So the latter method also gets you the simplified version of 36 to 48. Okay, so Tim had 3 and 1/4 gallons of milk. He's pouring to 1/5 gallon containers. How many full containers of 1/5 size will he have? So just to make a little picture. So imagine a full gallon of milk, another full gallon of milk, and a third gallon of milk, and the next one, not full, but about here, a quarter. So this is how much milk he has. So let me just go like this. That's full, and there's a little bit here. But we don't want to put it in a, take all this milk and pour into little containers like this. Okay, and each of them is about 1/5 of a gallon. So how many of these can I fill with 3 and 1/4 gallons of milk? So it's a division problem. 3 1/4 divided by 1/5. Let's see. So we want to change this to a mixed number. So times plus 4 and 3 is 12 plus 1 13. 13 over 4 divided by 1/5. And we're going to find the LCM, the common denominator for 4 and 5, and that would be 20. And let's see, so how did the 4 become a 20? Times 5. So now multiply the top times 5. 13 times 5 is 65. How did the 5 become a 20? Times 4. So the top is times 4. So now that our denominator is the same, remember we can cross. Let me write these two numbers as a fraction, 65 over 4. And we're going to change that to a mixed number. How many times can 4 go into 65? Oof, let's see. Actually, just going to divide here. 4 goes in 6 once. 4 minus 2, bring down to 5. 4 goes 25 6 times. That's 16. 24, one left over. So final answer. So 4 can go to 65 16 times. And 1/4. 1 left over 4. So how many of these little containers will I have? 16. Okay. Move on. We're going to move on. So Sam paid 18.72 for 12 books. How much will it cost Sam to buy 20 stamps? Okay, that makes no sense because this should be books. Okay. Hopefully you guys caught that. So 18.72 over 12 books. And we want to know how many 20 books cost. Now I'm going to write it over here. And we need to find how much. So, and is the relationship between 12 and 20? Nope. How about 12 and 18.72 up and down? If you have a calculator, let's see, you could have done that. If you had the calculator, because we're always finding unit rate, but we can find an up and down relationship. So, let's see, 18.72 divided by 12, and it's a decimal relationship, but there is. So 12 to go to 18.72 is times 1.56. So 12 times 1.56, it's 18.72, and vice versa. 1872 divided by 1.56 gives you 12. So here, all I gotta do is take this and multiply it by 1.56, and that will give us $31.20. So that's a different way of doing things. We could have found the, what do you call that, the unit rate, okay, which I'll do now. So let me just rewrite this at the bottom. So 18.72 over 12 books. Let's find the unit rate. The unit rate says, let's find the cost of one book, which is 12 times divided by 12, and 18.72 divided by 12, which gives us, divided by 12 gives us $1.56. But you'll notice that it's the same thing, right? It ends up being exactly what we just did on the top. So now that I know that one book, not Bach, one book costs $1.56, and I want to find out how many 20 books cost, it's times 20 times 20 over here, and you get 31.2. So either or method that you show would have counted. So equations is coming. We're going to be working with equations soon. So this is a simple one-step equation. So we're looking for a number that added to 9.7604 equals 87.765. So this mystery number plus this equals that. Or if you remember about fact families, 87.765 minus this should give you your mystery number. So on the side, 87.765. Line up the decimals. 97604. We're going to subtract. Okay, so before we start subtracting, let's add a 0 here, okay, because we need to make this same number of decimal place values. And we need to borrow a little bit from the 5. The 5 is going to become a 4, and that's going to become a 10. So 10 minus 4 is 6. 4 minus 0 is 4. 0, 0. We need to borrow again from the 8. It becomes a 7. 17 minus 9 is 8. And 7 minus empty space is just 7. Final answer, 78.0046. So the value of this x here should be 78.0046, and that added to this number will give you the number on the other side of the equation. Okay. Distributed property. Distributed property, aka for us and the Angry Birds. Right. So the number outside is going to be multiplied to each of the terms inside. Okay. One by one. So the first attack here, remember, is 9 times the variable k. The plus sign. We're going to do 9 times the 5 in the back. Okay, so the outside number multiplies everyone inside. Okay, so 9 times k is just 9k. Plus, and 9 times 5 is 45. So this expression right here is equivalent to that expression. Both of them mean the same thing. Okay. Clear. Okay. So in Miss Peroni's class, 75% of the students are boys. There are 18 boys in the class. What is the total number of students? Ooh. Okay, so let's set up part total 100%. Well, let me circle. I know the percent. 75%. 75% equals what? 75% of the class are boys, and that number is 18. So these two are the same. Okay, these two are representing the same thing. One is representing as a percent in the action. The other one here, the 18 is actually representing the actual numbers. Okay, so we need to find out of what? 18 boys out of how many kids in that class? Of boys. Let's 18 to 75, no relationships. I'm sorry, 75 to 80 because we're going this way. So let's simplify this. 75 over 100, I'm going to divide that by 25. 75 divided by 25 is 3. Divide the bottom by 25. 100 divided by 25 is 4. So this is my new ratio. 75 over 100 is now, we're going to use 3 over 4. So not to confuse you. Okay, just let me cover this. Now I use 3 over 4. Do you see a relationship from 3 to 18? Yes, there is. Times 6. And then times 6 as well at the bottom. And 6 times 4 is 24. So 18 boys out of how many kids in the class? 24, which means, even if I know they didn't ask you, but which means that the difference, 24 total, 18 boys, that we have only 6 girls in this class. Okay, and 75% are boys, and then which also means that 25% are girls. Identify the coordinates and the quadrants, blah, blah, blah. Reflect point A over the x-axis. Okay, so let's go A. A is 1, 2, and 7 up. And it's in Q1. B is 1, 2, 3, 4 to the left, which is negative 4. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 up. And that's in quadrant 2. C. Where's C? Is there a C? I don't see a C. Okay, so there's no C. That's weird. Alright, so let's go to D. D is 1, 2, 3 to the left, or negative 3. And we're going to take the elevator down. 1, 2, 3. Also negative 3. And that's in Q3. E. E is you don't go left, you don't go right, so you're going to stay at 0. But do you go up? Yes, you do. 2 up. And it's not in any quadrant, but instead it's on the y-axis. F. It's 7 to the right, and elevator down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it's 5 floors down. And that's in Q4. Okay. So now we need to reflect A over the x-axis. Here's the x-axis, so we're going to go from here. A is going to jump all the way to the other side. Remember, it's a exact same position, except it's on the other side of the mirror, and our mirror is our x-axis. So let me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 spaces. So on the other side, I'm going to count 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's where A is going to be, all the way down there. That's not A, but A prime. So A prime is going to be how many? 2 over, same thing, to the right, but instead of being 7 floors, 7 floors up, it's going to be 7 floors down. Okay, the exact opposite location, way on the other side of the x-axis. Okay. Next. Keith wants to plot. Alright, so negative 88 and negative 98. So why don't I do that before I even read the question? So again, if this is 0, and I'm going to start counting, that's 1 on that side, 2, and so forth. This would be negative 1, -2, -3. I'm not going to obviously do a little thing all the way, but -3, 50, 60, 70, -80, -81, 82, 83, -88 is going to come first. I keep counting, -90, 91, 92, 93, and -98 is going to be here. So, on a number line, -98 will be here, and -98 will be here. Okay, just want to make it a little bigger. So, what's the first statement says? You, Keith, should plot -88 to the left of -88. No, -88 is going to be to the right. So, anything that says to the left, out. -88 to the left, again, I'm not even going to read the rest because it's not going to be on the left. -88 should be on the right. Keith should plot -88 to the right, okay, of -98 because -98 is smaller than -88. It is smaller. Remember, when you have 2 points and I ask you which one is the bigger one, the number on the right is always the bigger one. Okay, so that one is the correct statement. Let's just check the last one. Keith should plot -88 to the right of -98. Yes, because -98 is bigger. -98 is not -98 is not bigger. Okay, so this is the incorrect one. So the only one that works is C. Okay. And we have one more. Okay. So now here, 12 and 1/4, 2 to the second power times 3 to the 1/4 minus 1.5. Okay, so again, this is a topic that's coming up for everyone, but let's do parentheses first. Exponents, addition, multiplication or division, whichever comes first from left to right. And then finally, you'll do any addition or subtraction, whichever comes first from left to right. So let's take care of things here. The first thing I want to do is just change this fraction to decimals. It's much easier. Can you do it with fractions? Yes, you may. But I think it's easier with a decimal. So 12 and 1/4 is 1/4 is the same thing as 0.25, 1/4. So 12 and 1/4, another way of writing that would be 12.25. I'll leave this exponent as it is. Okay, I could have changed it, but I'm going to leave it as it is. Times, parentheses, 3 and 1/4 is 3.25 minus 1.5. So let's follow order of operations and solve this. Parentheses, yes, there are. So we're going to take care of this parentheses and leave everything alone. So copy 12.25. Don't touch, don't change, don't do anything. Leave 2 to the second power alone. And let's just do what's inside the parentheses. So you're asked to subtract $3 and not $3, sorry, 3.25 minus 1.5, and if you did that subtraction, you would get 1.75. So I'm done with all my parentheses. There's nothing else. Second thing would be exponents. 12.25, leave it alone, don't do anything. And there's an exponent, so that 2 to the second power, I'm going to rewrite that as 4 times 1.75, and you can take it out of the parentheses if you like. So no more parentheses, or not. I took care of everything in the parentheses. I took care of all my exponents. Now I have to do multiplication or division, whichever comes first from left to right. So I'm not going to do this addition, but instead I'm going to do this multiplication here. So 12.25 stays, the plus stays, but I'm going to multiply these things, these two things, 4 times 1.75. So let's multiply that on the sign. We get 4 times 4, 4 times 5 is 20, goes 2, 4 times 7 is 28. And 2 is 30, goes 3, 4 times 1 is 4, plus 3 is 7. Oops, I forgot to do something. So this particular number here had 2 decimal places. This one had none, 0 decimal places, and for a total of 2 decimal places. So my answer needs to have 2 decimal places, right? So we multiplied, and 2 decimal places would be right here. So the answer is just 7. You don't need to write 7.00, same thing. So 4 times 1.75 is the same thing as 7. Now, no more multiplication, there's no division. I add or subtract from left to right. So starting from here, from left, let's walk to the right, and there's an addition. Actually, it's the only one that we have. So we add 12.25 plus 7. Let me add this, so it's 12.25. The 7 does not have a decimal, so let's add a decimal. So I'm gonna put here 7, 0, 0. Okay. Remember, decimals are lined up on an addition or subtraction problem. 52.91. Final answer, 19.25. Okay, not that difficult. All right, that was Spiral 12. Okay, have a good weekend.